Why did Michael Jackson hate giving interviews? The king of pop, Michael Jackson, could hypnotize hundreds of thousands of people in stadiums and sell hundreds of millions of albums. However, the moment the cameras stopped rolling and he was asked to sit across from a journalist, the story was entirely different. Over a career spanning 4 decades, Jackson gave remarkably few interviews to the media. For the most famous person on the planet, speaking to the press was not a tool for self-promotion, but a psychological minefield. These are the central reasons why the king of pop developed a deep-seated aversion and at times, genuine anxiety toward journalistic interviews. To understand Jackson's aversion to the media, one must look back to his childhood. Jackson began performing at the age of 5 under the strict management of his father, Joe Jackson. He never experienced a normal childhood, playing with peers, or standard social interaction. Offstage, Michael was an extremely shy, introverted, and sensitive person. The stage provided him with a mask and a shield. There, he was in complete control. In interviews, however, he was required to expose himself without the armor of music and dance, which caused him immense embarrassment and social anxiety. During the 1980s, as his popularity skyrocketed, the media became increasingly invasive. Tabloids began inventing and exaggerating stories about him, ranging from claims that he slept in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber to prevent aging, to attempts to purchase the skeleton of the Elephant Man. The tabloids dubbed him with the hurtful nickname Wacko Jacko, a label Jackson loathed with all his heart. He felt that journalists were not interested in his art, but merely wanted to portray him as a freak to sell newspapers. While other musicians were asked about songwriting inspirations and creative processes, Jackson's interviews almost always revolved around highly personal and intrusive topics. His changing skin tone, the press repeatedly accused him of trying to bleach himself, ignoring his statements, later confirmed by his autopsy, that he suffered from the skin condition vitiligo. Plastic surgery, obsessive scrutiny of his facial structure and nose became a staple of his interviews, causing him deep humiliation. His sex life and family, intrusive questions about his marriages, his children, and his lifestyle at the Neverland Ranch. If Jackson had any remaining sliver of hope in giving the media another chance, it vanished entirely in 2003 following the British documentary Living with Michael Jackson by journalist Martin Bashir. Jackson opened his home and his heart to Bashir for months, believing he was dealing with an honest journalist who would present the truth about him. In reality, Bashir edited the footage in a highly suggestive and manipulative manner that portrayed Jackson in a very damaging and questionable light, ultimately contributing to his trial and subsequent full acquittal in 2005. Jackson viewed this interview as the worst betrayal he had ever experienced at the hands of the media, and from then on, he rarely cooperated with journalists. For Michael Jackson, a journalist's microphone was never a tool for self-expression, but a weapon pointed directly at him. He felt that every time he tried to explain himself, his words were twisted for tabloid headlines. In the end, silence and keeping his distance from the media were the only ways he could preserve the little sanity and privacy he had left.